Read them, stltoday.com, and Tuesdays and Thursdays with us. Tony, good morning. Thanks for checking in.
Morning, McGraw. Good morning, Wendy. And my knees are pretty sore, too, so hopefully I won't, take a tumble during the show today.
All right, fair enough.
But I don't have a $50 million contract either.
Well, you're working on it.
Yeah.
You're working on it. All right, let's get to it, because a couple weeks ago you alerted us to the fact that the county was clearing some land in Creve Coeur Park for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Turned out that you uncovered that it might be for some type of Rams facility. Where are we with all this? Blues facility.
It's the St. Louis Blues through a nonprofit called the St. Louis Legacy Ice Foundation, and the county had planned to put their new practice facility and administrative offices on Creve Coeur Lake Memorial Park, which is a federally protected park because the feds helped pay for much of it. And they started clearing the land before they got the approval. They can't do that until they ultimately get approval from National Park Service. And the column I wrote 3 or 4 weeks ago pointed out that the National Park Service, in a series of emails, is saying there's no way that an ice arena is going to qualify under the rules. And so the county council got involved and started trying to slow down the project. And my most recent column this week points out that the Department of Natural Resources is still seeking more documentation from the county, that the county's lie that it was a stormwater project isn't holding up to scrutiny, and that the Legacy Ice Foundation is now saying we're looking at other municipalities. The ice project as it relates to that park is mostly dead. But the matter remains that they scraped up a bunch of land. They got rid of a bunch of trees. They damaged the property. And now there's a question as to whether or not they're going to put it back the way it was, or they're going to leave it the way where they have raised and flattened the land and put retention ponds in for a massive ice center facility, and leave it like that and say that they somehow improved the area for outdoor recreation. So it's an ongoing saga. But the likelihood is, at this point, based on my reporting, that the ice center, the Blues' new practice facility, is not going to go on that park. They're starting to look for some other places.
So who was clearing the land? Did some nameless, faceless bureaucrat start it? Was it a county council deal? How did it get this far down the road?
This is the part that's interesting. So the county's position is that it was a stormwater project. Even though there's no place in any county meeting or St. Louis Economic Partnership meeting, nobody's discussed a stormwater project except for when the county told DNR, oh, by the way, this ice facility that we're doing, we're also doing stormwater, and it just happens to look like it's the same site. So ignore the ice part. We're doing a stormwater project. So they contracted with the nonprofit connected to the Blues to do what is called in all the documents site preparation work, but which the county is calling stormwater work. And so it's the Legacy Ice Foundation, a nonprofit that has nothing in its charter about doing stormwater work. They're the ones who contracted to do the work. They're paying ARCO, the company that's actually out there with the bulldozers and everything. And they are now in the process. I just got an email from DNR this morning. They are now in the process of reseeding the land, and they're leaving it the way it is, prepared for an ice arena, but they're reseeding it so that they can certify to DNR it's reopened for outdoor recreation. So it was this nonprofit connected to the Blues that actually is contracted with the county to do that work. I think there's going to be a lot of questions as to who ultimately is paying for that, because if I'm the Blues and the nonprofit and their various investors, I'm going to the county and saying, boy, you kind of represented something to us that didn't end up being true. I think there may well be a dispute over both who pays for the work that has already been done and a question as to whether or not the land needs to be returned to its original form before this work started.
There you go. Tony Messenger, never a dull moment around here. Tuesdays and Thursdays with us, and all the time at stltoday.com.